just now.
What's that? This is February, right? No, January.
Today? No, it's February right now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are about to get started with our February Village Board meeting. If you could please stand and say the pledge with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a very large agenda tonight, so we're going to start right off at the top. Let's see. Altamont Fire Department, do you have a report other than what you submitted?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. I don't believe we have a police department report this evening. That's okay. And Public Works.
Is this where he says he's not retiring?
Not much going on. Guys are going to be running around the end of the month starting to read meters, so if you see anybody in your yard, that's what's going on. We retired Larry's old truck. It was in pretty bad shape, but it's been in the shop. The guys took the body off of it, made a new body for it, did some engine work and some drivetrain work, so that's back on the road.
Oh, good.
And it's good for just knocking around the village.
The new truck is beautiful.
It's a real nice truck.
It is.
That salt truck, we went to a bigger size, and that works out a lot better for us.
Okay, good.
But that's it. The guys have been working on things in the shop, and
I don't want to jump ahead, but I think maybe because we've talked about it at the meetings before, and you can add or not add, what I'm saying is we did complete the Rhode Island test on the manganese. What we've been doing, we talked about this with Barton LaJudas, is facilitating this study with the University of Rhode Island. They came in, they did their week of testing, and I think things were going very well from what I was told.
very well.
So we'll
yeah.
get the data back soon, and then they will give us a plan of action to go forward.
Yeah.
Right? They seem very happy about it.
Yeah, the results were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I went down to see the system and kind of see how it works, and it was interesting and.
pretty
not
impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive.
Yeah.
So they say, so more to come on that, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to acknowledge that that's where we are in the middle of that project.
Yeah.
So,
And since this is my last meeting,
Jeff.
I heard that was a rumor.
nope, I got to tell you, I've been working here probably since I'm about 15 or 16 years old. My father had his own electrical plumbing contracting business, and I grew up in it. One of our accounts was the Village of Altamont, Cobb School, Lasalette Seminary. I can remember when I was probably 15 years old getting off the bus here to work on water main breaks and work in a sewer plant. Got me going for municipal work. When I got married, my wife and I bought the business and really got into municipal work. We did probably almost 30 years of building pump houses, working on all different water supplies all over the place. And kind of full circle, I ended up back here and it's the end of my career.
We're not to that section, so I was going to do the tiers later, but my tears will come later. But we are going to miss you tremendously. Obviously, the impact you've had on the village and the community with the work that you've done and the team that you've led is just so important. And it's been wonderful having you here and your wife here as well, because she's retiring as well from helping around the buildings. So I'm hoping we could call you should we have a problem arises. We can kind of reach out that way if we need you.
Well,
We know where you live, so that's.
I feel very comfortable because I've got a really good team down there.
You do, yeah.
They're a really good bunch of guys, and they
Yeah.
care about what's going on.
Yeah, no, I think thank you for all you've done, and thank her too, and I don't know if anybody else has anything.
Absolutely.
Michelle, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
So apparently my blatant refusals are not working.
Earlier, Michelle came in and told Jeff that he may not leave, but,
Yeah, I mean, what happens if we all vote no to
That's
approving
true.
his
That's
resignation?
If we
true.
don't vote yes, then.
yeah. All right, I'm going to move on to the public comment portion of our meeting. If you have something to share with the board, you can come up to the microphone and tell us who you are. If you do have a comment on the public hearing, I would ask you to hold on and wait to do that at that time. So if you'd like to come up to the microphone, feel free. You can step right up.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I do have some notes because the way my mind goes, I'll forget something if I don't go down the list here. But good evening, Mayor Deneen and board. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak and introduce myself. My name is Dave Burke. I am the new president, the newly elected president of Historic Altamont. I've been your Altamont neighbor for over 30 years, and I've been living in Guilderland for over 50 years. I share everyone's love of our very unique special village. As I said, I'm the newly elected president, and I want to stress this is the new Historic Altamont. We have completely reorganized. We have 4 new officers. All 4 officers are new to the organization. We have a new goal and a new mission, simply to preserve the unique character, historic character of Altamont. We are working on an ARPA grant. We're hoping for approval soon, and we want to collaborate with the village with the use of these funds. At the board's convenience, I look forward to sharing the ARPA grant details, and I'll answer any questions. The new Historic Altamont will be having our first meeting this Thursday at the Altamont Reformed Church on Lincoln Avenue. The meeting's at 6:45. All our meetings are always open to the public. Everyone is invited. Please join us. There are other organizations.
When was that meeting? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the date of the meeting.
Thursday.
Thursday?
This Thursday at 6:45.
Thank you.
You may be aware that there are other organizations that are currently active in the Altamont area. They're active in the area because they also recognize the special character of Altamont. I have invited representatives from all of those organizations to this meeting with the hope of sharing knowledge and communicating, collaborating. Some of these groups include the Mohawk Hudson Land Conservancy, the Long Path North Hiking Club, the New York, New Jersey Trail Conference, the ACT, the Fairgrounds, Open Space Institute, and I actually invited some people from the Guilderland Planning Board because they've got a brand new document that they're having an open house for in about 2 weeks. Historic Altamont believes that communication and participation with the village board and with the local community is essential. That's why I'm here. Our new email address is historicaltamont@gmail.com. And we are also working on a Facebook page. That's going to take another couple of weeks. Historic Altamont will always want to communicate, to cooperate, and to collaborate. I'll be staying after this meeting, willing to answer any questions and share contact information. I'll speak with anybody that's interested, and I thank everybody. Please come to our meeting on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have a comment tonight? I'm just looking around. All right, if there's no other movement or comments, I'm going to move on to the agenda tonight and start with item number 1, which is the abstract. So consider approval of treasurer's abstracts 15 and 16 and transfer the funds as submitted. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Michelle, and second.
I'll second.
And Teresa. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Item 2 on this agenda is, I'm going to actually ask Allison, if you don't mind, Phillips, our counsel, to read the publication.
Sure. So this is a notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held before the village board for the village of Altamont at the village community room on the 6th day of February 2024 at 7:00 p.m. regarding the adoption of a local law amending the village tax code to grant real property tax exemptions for volunteer firefighters and ambulance service workers of the village of Altamont. Copies of the proposed local law shall be available at the time of hearing and shall be available at times prior to and after the hearing at the village clerk's office during normal business hours for the purpose of inspection or procurement by interested persons. January 25th, Altamont, New York, by order of the village board.
Thank you. Before we open up for any comments, I don't know, Allison and Nick would have normally done a summary for us, and I know this is probably some people have heard a lot what's in this because it goes in line with the Guilderland law as well. So I don't know if you can give us a better summary than I could, but
Yes.
that'd be great.
So the local law would enact a tax assessment, or I'm sorry, a tax exemption that would be applicable to volunteer firefighters and emergency service responders who own property within the village of Altamont and also provide those services in the village of Altamont. Okay, sorry about that. It would be a 10% exemption off the assessed value of the property. The property would have to primarily be used as a primary residence. There are some limited exceptions. Has to be located within the village of Altamont, and there's a certification process where the local service providers would certify what members qualify for the exemption. There's also some additional benefits to the law, which would apply for a grant of a lifetime exemption for those who have 20 years or more qualified service, and also a benefit to surviving unmarried spouses of volunteer firefighters or ambulance workers. The local law that's before the village board tonight was drafted in consultation with the board members, also to follow the model that was adopted by the town of Guilderland last year. So that law is already in effect in the town of Guilderland. With the adoption of the law, it would now apply to residential properties in the village of Altamont. So before the board tonight, we have a resolution to approve adoption of the local law following the public hearing. If the board wants to open it up to comment, and then,
And I think this is something, we've talked about this, it's been some time for this to come around to us. But we've all been, and correct me if I'm wrong, we were all supportive of this when it came out, and we talked about that. So, if you have something you want to mention, you can come on up to the microphone and give us your thoughts on it. And then, nobody? Okay. I'm getting thumbs up from people, so I'm going to say that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Michelle is first,
I'll
and
second.
second is Tressa. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor.
Trustee Ganance?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. So I'm going to move on to item 3, which is consider approving resolution adopting local law number 1 of 2024 of the Village of Altamont, providing a real property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers pursuant to section 466-A of the real property tax law. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Tressa, and second?
In favor.
Michelle?
Oh, you know what I mean.
Second?
Yeah.
Michelle is second. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor.
Trustee Ganance?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. And I'll just, for a point of information, at this point in time, that I think it affects 4 people within our department for the village. So it would be at this point. So that meet the qualifications. Gives you kind of a sense. All right, item 4. Consider approving the purchase of a 2013 Dodge Charger police vehicle not to exceed $16,000 per request of Todd Pusey, Police Chief. The funds would be taken from the Police Car Reserve Fund and are subject to permissive referendum. This is a 2013 police car. It was outfitted from another department for a police vehicle. And we will have to put things like the striping and things like that on it, identifying it as Altamont. That's why the request was for one amount, a little bit lower, and I asked about that, the cost, because we have to, put those costs into it.
Is it for badging and
All of those things. So I applaud him because he went out, with the budgets we have, we are very limited at times, and we do have a fund we put into every year for these vehicles, but he found something he felt was a very strong, car for us to own at half the price, less than half the price we'd have to pay for a new vehicle, which usually is $40,000, $50,000. But this one is going to also be, he's going to make sure it has a once-over from our mechanic before it's purchased and things like that, too. So that's what it's going to be. Can I have a motion for that, please?
How many miles are on it?
Well, the original car was 120, but this is under 70 because the whole motor is brand new. And the transmission everything's brand new. And brakes were brand new, rotors are brand new.
I knew it was under 80.
I have my little cheat sheet. And I asked. It's a V8 engine, it's a whole new transmission. So the 122,000 was on the car, not the motor.
Right.
And the car is clean as can be, there's not a mark on it. So it's been taken
It's a
care
good
of.
deal. It's a
Yeah.
good deal.
It does have lights on the inside, so that we don't have to use that. It is black.
So it's got the hookups for the computers and all that
Yes,
stuff.
well, that's, yes.
So what would the cost be for what it still needs to outfit it though?
That's what I was asking, and I thought it should be more money we put aside, but Chief thought that was fine. That'll be fine with what it needs. It's more about adding the lights are on the inside, so it's more about adding the markings to the outside.
Okay.
And stuff like that. And we're probably gonna do a little flip-flop with the vehicles, because we may actually change his vehicle with this one and outfit the car he's driving, because the lights we have on the old vehicle fit his car.
Oh,
So it all works out kind of nicely in the end that way.
Do we know who put in the engine and transmission?
They do, yes.
Who's they?
The chief. And one of the officers, the chief does.
They
Chief
put
Pusey.
in the transmission?
They didn't
know
put in,
who
no,
did.
they know the car. They
Oh,
know who,
oh.
they know who changed
They
all
know
that.
who did all
I don't
that. That
know,
was
I
done
don't
by
know
a
who did the
mechanic?
work, yes. But
Okay.
we're still running it by our mechanic.
Oh,
So
okay,
We're
okay.
gonna be running it through our mechanic before any purchase. It hasn't been purchased.
My mechanic father would absolutely disown me if I didn't ask these questions
Oh, no,
about
that's okay.
cars.
That's why I got a cheat sheet
my-
the other day. I
kind of my
actually,
thing.
I called one of the officers in and gave him a bunch of questions, actually.
Yeah, I
So,
hate to see us buy something that isn't,
no, and you know what, he's done a great job over the years, either getting us grants for cars or trying to find the best used cars if, so we don't have to buy new.
yeah, used is the way to go.
Yeah, it definitely is, so, all right.
Anytime I see something that says it has a new transmission, I'm like, who put it in? Where did the transmission come from?
No. Well, can I have a motion for that? I didn't have one yet, I started.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Does anybody want to give me a
So
motion?
moved.
There's only two of you here. Tressa.
I'll
And
second it.
second, okay, Michelle, and roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
in favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Nothing like a bunch of women talking about cars.
I know.
I know.
I give you props, Tressa.
Some of us women know more than some
You
men
do,
do.
I know nothing, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you have materials on, consider approving a resolution to establish a sidewalk capital reserve fund. What we do yearly when we have our budget workshops is Jeff has always budgeted, up to like $10,000 for sidewalks, and we try to use that year for what we need. But we realize like sidewalks cost way more than that. I mean, they just are so expensive, and I think it's what, $300 for a certain amount of linear feet. It's pricey. So what we'd rather do is have a reserve, put this money in there, so it's just not, so if we don't use it this year, let's just say we have sidewalk money and we don't use it, it goes into the general fund and then we're starting back again next year. We'd rather put it in a savings account for this purpose. And then when we have escrows in from any developments or things like that, it also goes in this escrow fund for sidewalks. It just makes more sense to make sure, number one, we're tracking the money and saving the money and using it as needed. So that's what this is. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Michelle is first,
I'll second.
and Tressa is second, and roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Item 6 is consider approving update to the Village of Altamont Facilities rental schedule. Can I have a motion for that?
I thought didn't we do this?
We do it every year with
But we
different
talked-
parts of it.
We talked
Okay.
about it, but we didn't.
We talked about it, but we haven't passed it. We did
Okay.
it last year for different parts.
No, I thought
We
for
did,
some reason we went ahead with this already, but,
We do it several times. Last year, we did the building fees changed, so we did it
Okay.
then. Anytime you make a change to the fee schedule, you have to readopt the new fee schedule. So the changes were to some of the rentals of the pavilions and the community room for,
Yeah.
not inside, but for outside residents. So,
So moved.
those are, Michelle is so moved. I'm sorry, can't keep track. Second,
I'll second.
Tressa, and roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Item 7 is consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign RBC Wealth Management letter, authorizing RBC Wealth Management to issue a payment of $6,778.09 to John Mahoney, Altamont Fire Department member. Payment represents Mr. Mahoney's December 31st, 2023 account balance. Mr. Mahoney is withdrawing the amount accumulated in the fund, and there is no village budget impact. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Tressa, and second? Yeah, Michelle. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Item 8,
Nope.
No.
Consider resignation of Jeffrey Moeller, full-time superintendent of public works, effective March 5th, 2024. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
I'll second.
And second is Tressa. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
With regret, but in favor, and we wish you well. And I hope you get to travel a lot more than, you love to travel, so enjoy it.
Stop in and see us sometime.
Often. Item 9, this is a twofer, unfortunately. Consider resignation of Colleen Moeller, part-time office cleaner, effective March 5th, 2024. Could I have a motion?
So moved. She can have.
You were tied, Tressa. And second will be Michelle. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. And thank her as well, because I know she's not here tonight, but she's done a wonderful job and we appreciate it. Yeah, please do. Item 10 is consider resignation of Cynthia Shannon, part-time deputy treasurer, effective January 24, 2024. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Michelle, and second,
I'll second.
Tressa. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 11 is consider resignation of Stacy Tanner, part-time treasurer, effective February 1st, 2024. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Tressa, and second is
Me.
Michelle.
In favor.
And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. So item 12 is consider appointment of Catherine Hasbrook, temporary treasurer, part-time as needed at $30 per hour. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Tressa, and second, Michelle, you good with that?
Second it, yeah.
Okay. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 13 is, did I get there? Yeah. Consider authorizing the acting treasurer to transfer the sale of the 2001 Pierce Fire Truck E17 in the amount of $90,000 received in November 2023 to the Fire Truck Equipment Reserve. Could I have a motion for that? So I'll give you some clarification if you don't remember. That came in, that was part of the new truck. We sold the old truck.
Yeah.
And the revenue came in, but it needs to go into this reserve, and it has to do that by an official motion by the board, a resolution from the board. It just can't go anywhere, okay? Or we have to decide, let's put it this way, we need to decide where it goes, what reserve, what accounts, and that was the one that I think I sent you all and said these were what we were thinking.
Yep, so moved.
Okay, so moved, Michelle,
And I'll second.
and Tressa is second. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 14 is very similar. Consider authorizing the acting treasurer to transfer the sale of the DPW equipment that was received in November 2023 in the amount of $16,558 from the general fund to the water fund. So we're doing the same thing for that was the money those are the things we sold.
So moved.
Tressa is first and
Second.
Michelle is second. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. All right. Item 15 is consider request of Phil Carducci to hold a benefit food pantry run walk, second leap day, 2.9 mile on March 3rd, 2024, from 7 to 12 p.m., and that takes place here at the community room. They start here and go out. So could I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Michelle and Tressa, will you be second?
A second.
Second. And roll call, please.
Trustee Mitchellwitz,
In favor. Sorry.
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Let me just write this down. Okay. 16 is consider approval of the board minutes for January 2nd, 2024. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Michelle, second.
Second.
Tressa, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nobody opposed? We're good. And do you guys have any questions or anything for anybody before we adjourn?
I do have just a quick comment
Sure.
for the public.
Yeah.
I know Facebook isn't the best way to get information, but just a couple of posts about concerning things happening with just trucks and people showing up at people's houses at night, and just wanted to reiterate that I'm not on.
Maybe
Come on.
maybe pull it closer.
Never was a loud talker. Just wanted to reiterate the chief's request at the last, or second to last board meeting, that if you see something, say something, make a phone call. If something seems suspicious or not quite right, it's okay to call. If it's nothing, and they'll find that out quickly enough.
And you can call the dispatch number. And they'll
Yes.
send an Altamont police officer there, which is the 1501 number.
Yeah.
356-1501.
Yep.
So always good. All right, thank you. Anything else from anybody?
Just that the budget workshops are coming up.
Yes.
Yep, we start those in another few
In
weeks.
another couple weeks, yeah.
And, yeah, okay.
That's it.
So with that, item 17 is consider motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Tressa? And second is Michelle. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? No? Oh, I was in favor of too. Aye. All right, thank you very much for coming out this evening. We appreciate it. Have a nice warm week, I think, we got going on.
No.
Oh, sorry, Dean.
Sorry, Dean, I know you like to skate.
No.